What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Today, we're taking a look at a clip from The Line. If you would like to, please go down below to the description and find a link to The Line and to the live stream that this video clip is coming from. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to The Line. I host over on The Line at least twice a month, so I hope to see you over there. All right. Let's get on into the clip. If you're ready to fuck around and find out what this crazy ass caller's talking about today, then please stay tuned.
And then we'll have an atheist caller after that. But Daniel's calling, pronouns are he, him. Daniel says, God is real because that's the highest possibility. What does highest possibility mean, Daniel? Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. So, highest possibility means, of course, it's more unlikely that there isn't a God.
Okay. How do you know that a God is possible?
It's a matter of numbers.
Okay. What are the numbers that show that a God's possible?
If you look at the chances of things happening, the chances, the Earth formed, the chances after that.
Okay, so you don't understand probability. So
Huh?
you don't understand probability. That's what this is. It's an argument from ignorance, is what you're doing.
But also,
well, no, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm just saying that
you're also talking about probability. I asked how you know a God is even possible.
Are you asking?
Yes. How do we know? Define God? I guess unless we're just, by God, do you mean the creator of the universe that is a thinking agent with will?
Yeah.
How do you know that's possible?
Well, probability in the traditional sense, but rather faith, personal experience, and it's a lot more complicated than just probability.
I'm Daniel. You're talking about faith and personal experience. Faith is not a reliable path to truth. Faith is when you believe things without a good reason. But let's assume, and faith will not convince either of us sitting here. Faith, I could take it on faith that I'm smarter than you, better than you, that white people are better than black people, that black people are better than brown. There's no position, no matter how wrong it is, that one couldn't accept on faith. So when I say, how do you know that this God is possible? And you're like, well, it's faith and personal experience. What personal experience could possibly demonstrate that God is possible?
Miracles.
Let's assume
miracles.
Let's assume that something that you and I would both describe as miraculous happens right now. How did you determine that God is a possible explanation for that miracle?
Because they happen during prayer or a spiritual connection, like those types of times.
If a miracle happens while I'm playing to Joe Pesci, does that mean that it's possible that Joe Pesci is God?
No, of course not.
Okay. So how do you determine that God is a possible explanation for something that you and I would call a miracle?
Because those deeply personal moments, it would seem to the person experiencing it that there's literally no other explanation other than a higher power.
Well, I could have deeply personal experience that I could consider that there's no other explanation other than Joe Pesci is God, but that doesn't mean it's true or possible. I'm still asking, how did you determine God is possible? I have no miracles I can point to. I have no evidence of any miracle in the entire history of the world that I can even verify. But I'm willing to concede that if a miracle occurred right now that you and I both agreed with, it would not only be the first miracle that I would agree with, but the question is, how do you determine that God is a possible candidate explanation for that miracle? And all you're giving me is, it just seems that way.
Okay, so I guess it would be like a chain of miracles rather than just one, because obviously one miracle wouldn't be enough to conclude anything. I would say it would have to come in as a chain of miracles in someone's life, like.
So let me get this straight.
Isolated acts.
It starts off. Let me get this straight. Hold on, Daniel. So first off, it starts with,
Yeah.
oh, it's faith and everything, and then miracles, and now just miracle is not sufficient. Now it's a chain of miracles that how many more times are we going to compound it? Like, I feel like this is just moving the goalpost on what you consider to be, proving your point that God is possible.
Well, yeah. The reason why I said chain miracles after that is because I think that you're right when it comes to, one miracle. How can that prove anything? That's why I said chain after that. And then I also want to emphasize timing of the miracle. So when you have a chain of miracles with impeccable timing, I personally don't see anything else that I could look at and think anything else it could be.
Fallacy. This is a fallacy called an argument from personal incredulity. You're saying,
okay,
this is the explanation because I personally can't believe another one. By the way, how many miracles do we need to string together before it qualifies? If one's not enough.
Like 3 or more.
3 or more. Why?
Because, the first time it's like, okay, whatever. The second time it's like a maybe, whatever. And then the third time it's like, okay, if this happens again. And then the fourth time, it's like, come on.
Okay, hey, I've literally played in 3 consecutive hands of poker where I've gotten pocket aces 3 times. Does that mean that there's some, does that mean that God was favoring me because I got pocket aces 3 times in a row? That's
no, because God is against gambling.
Would that be one?
How do you know God's against gambling?
Gambling isn't biblical.
I'm sorry. I don't care if it's biblical. I asked you how you know that God is against gambling.
Okay, that's fair. I can't say that God himself is against gambling. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm saying according to what the Bible says, gambling comes from a love of money. Love of money is the root of all evil. So through that, I can deduct that God wouldn't appreciate gambling.
So you're missing the point. I don't care what the Bible says until you give a reason why we should care what the Bible says. I still want to know how you determine that God is even possible. So here, let me try a different way. Let's say you and I walk into my living room and there's a dead human body laying on the floor. Can you list the candidate reasons for that dead body? This is a yes or no. I don't want you to actually list.
Okay, no, because I'm not a detective.
Okay. Sure. Is heart failure, not knowing anything else, without any examination, is heart failure a possible explanation for a dead body?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We know that to be true. I've had multiple heart attacks. I've had a triple bypass. If you find me dead in my house, despite what the person in chat suggested, my heart's actually doing great, and it's less likely that I died of heart failure than something else. Right now, there are other factors that are potentially worse. Is the butler did it a possible explanation for that body?
Is the what? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Is the butler did it a possible explanation for that body?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
What if there's no butler? Is it still a possible explanation?
No.
So the butler is possible if a butler exists, but it's not possible if a butler doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, of course.
So is God killed that person a possible explanation for that body?
I rebuke you, Satan. God would never, ever strike someone down dead. I rebuke that.
Okay.
Oh, we're sorry.
We're done having a conversation because you just got backed into a corner and did one of the silliest things ever. And now I can't take you seriously, Daniel.
No, my bad. You're right. My fault.
No, you don't get to keep going. You got busted. You're a troll. Just admit it. You're not a serious advocate for a God.
I shouldn't. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
You're not a serious advocate here. You're just calling to get time on the air. Nothing you've said. Do you actually believe?
I do actually believe in God, but I'm not as
prove it.
I'm not as
prove it.
Well-versed as other people.
Prove to me that you actually believe in God.
I can't over the phone. I don't think.
How would you do it if we were in person?
In person, I would show you. My Bible fully marked out.
What difference does it make if there's a Bible? The Bible doesn't prove God.
Yeah, you're right about that. I actually agree with that.
So once again, I'm right. Once again, I ask you how you're going to prove something, and you give me something. When I push back, you say you're right. That won't prove God. Call back when you find a way to prove God.
I rebuke that.
I rebuke you too, Daniel. Goodbye.
I rebuke
Sorry
you,
that you're so.
I rebuke you in the name of God. I rebuke you.
Hey, Daniel.
Oh, Jesus.
Daniel, are you rebuking me because
Yeah.
I'm Satan or because I'm being used by Satan?
I think that a demon has taken hold of you. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool. Let's cast that demon out, Daniel.
I rebuke
Here is
you,
your
Satan.
chance. No, hang on. Daniel, here's your chance. Show me how powerful your Jesus is. You think there's a demon in me? Cast that fucker out right now. I dare you.
Well, I
Your
think
God's
that
a pussy.
God can't
Your
actually
God's a
do
pussy.
everything.
Your God's weak. He can't take me out of this body.
Yeah, I agree. Actually,
Your mother sucks cocks in hell. Does that work for you?
yeah, I rebuke Satan.
Cool. We rebuke you,
could
Daniel.
you
Call back when
please
you've got
quit-
something substantive.
Daniel, please quit using my name in vain like you are right now. I really don't appreciate it.
Oh, it's
I
funny.
rebuke you, Daniel.
Daniel walked into the lion's den then. A demon has taken over me. Hey, honey, how you like fucking demons?
It's the best. Very hot.
Okay.
Well, heathens, that's going to be it for today's clip from the line. Again, if you would like to subscribe to the line, their links are in the description. So please go down there and subscribe. And as a reminder, I do host over there at least twice a month on either a Sunday or a Monday. So if you want to see more of me answering questions from callers, please go over to the line and subscribe. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.